welcome back to the Faustrolog. I'm Thomas Davis running our adventure right now. We have with us Eric.
Hey there, I'm Eric. I'm playing Ellison, the Anthrid, and I don't remember enough about my character to tell you more.
Perfect. It has been a while since we played. Sully?
Hey, I'm Sully and I'm playing Vok, the Anthrid cultist who's just a little bit too optimistic.
Excellent. And Mark.
I am playing Griffith, who is a skunk, and very much into pleasure.
All right. That's not part of the game, the skunk, anyway. But he is a musky Lystragon, I think. Skunk for short. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. It has been a while since the group here has recorded, especially with my new game still in development, Faustrolog. So we are going to be rusty. We are going to make some mistakes. And we're just going to jump right in. So since last time, our intrepid adventurers / despicable mutineers fled their expedition to the northwestern edge of the known world and heisted the bark San Celeste, the sailing ship that the group of senior mages and some impressive naval officers had used to mount this expedition. When they jumped aboard, they discovered a skeleton crew of kids, basically cabin boys, and they convinced them, without fighting, thank goodness, to obey their seniors and turn the ship around and get the heck out of there. Also on board are 5 clay golems, well dressed in storm wear, oilcloth, and also is an entirely unexplored hold of the ship. We're going to pick up with our group freaking out, but trying to act like they know what they're doing. Guys, I'll try to set the scene. The bark is swaying gently in the waves. As you had approached, the waves had become spookily regular. They had not been normal chaotic waves of the sea, but had been almost mathematical waves that you would see at best in the setting of a play or a textbook. The mood had gotten extremely eerie. You saw what you thought was some sort of giant silhouette on the horizon. Griffith blew up the boat that was pursuing. There were 2 boats on the island. Both had fled. You guys were in the lead, and Griffith blew up the boat that was pursuing. So you guys have taken control of the ship. You've convinced the skeleton crew to follow your orders. There's been some back and forth on the deck, but that's the case that we're in. I'll be happy to go on with the exposition, but does anybody have something that they would like to say of where they are on the ship, what they're doing, what they remember, what they're afraid of?
I want to ask, as I think we did this last time, didn't we set a course?
You guys had decided to flee the Green Beam, which is in the northwestern corner of the world, as far as you know. And yes, you were setting a course, and I don't know if you, as a group, had agreed on what the new course was.
Oh.
Yeah, I think our only priority at the time was getting away from that green beam. And then we just kind of stopped there.
Yeah, and this has nothing to do with this. I'm just with what we're doing. I think that someone was taking a rest. It was probably me, but my creature is for sure a skunk. They're a mammalian animals. I am a mammalian animal.
Okay. You're like your typical skunk that walks on hind legs and it weighs 1,200 pounds.
Yes, I look like
okay.
basically.
I feel like that's kind of big. 1,200 pounds?
He's big.
It's gigantic.
I'm a big dude. Yeah. Did you
Wow.
not know that?
No, I did not know you were that large. And weren't we sneaking around the last game?
Yeah.
How does 1,200 pounds of fur sneak anywhere?
Oh, grizzly bears can ambush people.
Yep. Doesn't really matter. I have a tail, and I have musky scent.
Yeah, you're definitely musky. And gauche.
Yes, and so people just, even if they don't want to, not pay attention to me. They do.
Yeah. A giant skunk.
I think that so I had killed some people on a boat, not necessarily wanting to, but my magic kind of went more than I guess I meant, the lightning bolt. And at least I sunk boats. I don't know if I killed them. And then I think I was tired or something happened because I wanted to go to sleep. I know that.
Yeah.
So I was not allowed to go in the captain's cabin. I don't remember, but I'm somewhere sleeping.
I think that was the whole thing. Is you weren't supposed to be in the captain's cabin, but you went there to go to sleep anyway.
Perfect. That's where I am.
Unless
Yeah,
that
I think
unless
that's
that
true.
was someone else.
We're going
No,
to,
it's
it's been
me.
long enough. We're going to retcon all this if we need to. All right. So, as you are deciding, so Griffith, the
Yes.
Lystragon skunk, is dozing in the captain's cabin.
Okay.
Ellison, where were you?
I do not recall.
All right, we'll
I
put
don't-
you on deck.
Okay, because I don't think any of us went to sleep except for him, right?
That's right.
Right. I think the rest of you were appreciating the dire circumstance.
I think I was trying to take a cabin boy with me, I think, at one point.
Boy.
Yikes.
And where was Vok?
I think Vok would be in a bit of a commanding position because I have a lot of experience on boats, and I know that the other two characters do not have as much experience.
Okay, so you're let's see, on the aft castle by the helm.
Sure.
Okay, the helm is actually being handled by one of the junior mates. He is way out of his depth and trying not to freak out, but he is taking confidence from your senior position there. Okay,
What's his name?
his name, I'm really glad you asked, because I totally have that ready.
He just has to find what page that's written on.
Here's his name. Hopefully you can say
that. All right, so actually, this is Larson. He was the oldest of the ones on there, so I actually do have his name, and that would be Larson. He would be the one on the helm at this time. Let's go ahead and name the other two.
Carson.
Oh,
Carson Larson.
Okay, all right, that's fine. All right, Carson, Larson, and McPherson.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so McPherson from the starboard gunwale, screams out, "Man overboard! Man overboard!" None of you guys seem to be overboard. And then he calls, "Carson, get over here!"
Carson, stay your position. Your work is important. I will deal with this.
I run over.
Okay. Carson is obviously conflicted. He's on we'll say he's near the port 4, and he's going to stay there dubiously. You rush to the starboard gunwale. You see what looks like a person wrapped around a plank of wood floating toward the San Celeste. He does not seem to be very active in his
Okay.
floating.
I have a rope written on my sheet. I'm gonna throw down a rope and see if and shout at them.
Hey, are you awake, alive? Do I need to get down there? I don't really want to jump in the water.
Let's do an alacrity roll for that rope,
Okay.
or a throwing roll if you've got that,
I do not. Let's see. What is my
or target rather.
my alacrity is absolute trash.
All right, give me an absolute trash roll.
No.
Okay, the rope falls well short. The hapless Flotsam does not respond.
Who's next to me?
McPherson.
McPherson, help me with this rope. I suck at throwing.
While he's doing that, I'm going to walk up and grab the end of the rope out of his hand, and I'm going to tie it around his waist. And then I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna pull the other end of the rope out of the water, and then I'm just gonna shove. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Vok.
Vok.
Vok. I'm
It's
just
either
gonna
Vok
shove.
or McPherson.
No, I'm just gonna shove Vok over the edge
Okay.
to go grab him, and I'm gonna hold on to the rope.
Okay. Vok, are you going to resist that, or are you just going
Nope.
to stand there in awe? All right, that's how you make decisions.
I'm befuddled.
Okay, Vok, you go over the rail. You fall back first into the water. It's very cold. It's shocking to your system. You're gasping for breath. And notably, you don't hear anybody else gasping for breath around you.
Oh, this could be worse.
Can I grab onto the body?
Yeah, you can swim over there and grab onto it. Give me one through roll.
One through roll. Okay.
And this is actually aid if you have that skill. Heal, render first aid, carry wounded, resuscitate, that sort of stuff.
No, I do have aid, which means my intellect can work for Thu.
Contributes.
Okay. So I failed everything.
Okay, all right.
Why is it? I feel like in this game it's so hard to succeed at a roll.
Well, we'll modify that if we need to, but honestly, if you look, what was your Thu? How many points of Thu do you have?
I have 2 in Thu and 3 in intellect.
Okay, so you had a 1/3 chance to get a success in Thu and a 1/2 chance to get a success in intellect. So you would have to fail both, which was what?
Well, it's the chance of not succeeding multiplied together.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
subtracted from 1.
It's 1/3. So you had a 67% chance to make that, I think.
And did you get anything in your lodestar?
Yeah, your luck.
My luck is Luna. I did not.
Okay, yeah. So you had a 67% chance to hit. So it was sort of like in D&D, you really needed to beat like a 7, and you didn't. So it's not that hard.
I just don't know if I've ever succeeded on a roll before. That's all I'm saying.
You're not gonna drown, especially if you've got aid. This is essentially like instead of walking across the room to pick something up, you're crawling across the room to tuck it under your arm.
Okay.
You get to the person.
I'm gonna yell down at him. Just hold your breath and grab the body. All limbs. Just wrap yourself around it.
You get to him, Vok. He's not responsive. He seems to have made some sort of a sling out of his shirt and tied it around this plank that he's holding onto. He is unconscious.
If he was a sailor, he could make a flotation device out of his pants. So he's clearly not a sailor.
All right, so you do grab him.
Yes, I'm gonna wrap my limbs around him.
All right, what's next?
Gonna wait for me to get pulled up.
As soon as I see that, I'm gonna nudge the guy that's next to me and say, "Hey, grab the rope and help me pull." And I'm just gonna start yanking him out of the water.
All right, you and McPherson, hand over hand, start pulling these guys in. The sea is not very choppy right now. It's not very hard for you to do it.
Is McPherson a golem?
No,
Oh.
no, the golems don't have names.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I missed.
Wow.
There are 3.
It's
Oh,
nice to
that's
see
great.
what kind of person you are.
I know. This is great. Oh, I can't wait till we get into this debate. McPherson is the second youngest. Carson is the youngest. Larson is the senior of the
Makes sense.
3. These are called. I think they're called ordinaries. They're actually junior mates though. They're more like the sort of kid you would see as a cabin boy, probably 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
I think a 17 is an ordinary soldier. Anyway, 17-year-old. Ordinary sailor, sorry. So they are helping you. McPherson calls to Carson and says, "Carson, help us out, help us out." The guy is a fairly big Vok. He's bigger than you are. He's bigger than an anthrid.
Are we on the deck of the ship now?
Nope. But you come up and you're bumping against the board of the ship, and they begin to raise you up. So there are a few ways you could do this. Are you just going to hang on to him and they'll raise you up? Or are you going to tie him off and wait your turn? Or what are you going to do?
I don't think I could hold someone that heavy.
He is bigger than you, and he's tied to a plank of wood.
But I don't really want to untie myself either.
Yeah, I think you should just try to hold on to the guy.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
I don't
I'll
think
just
it's
try
worth
and
you
hold on to
dying.
him.
I mean,
Okay,
with
so-
all 4 limbs, you got to be able to do something, right?
I mean, I could use aid again, so I have a higher chance of succeeding.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's get an aid roll from you, and I will do Carson and McPherson's roll. And Ellison, do you have any strength-related skill that would help you here? I don't think you would. Well, I'll let you use aid for this as well if you've got it. Make an aid roll. If you don't have aid, it's just a raw through roll. And I think we're going to need a total of 4 successes to get everybody on deck.
I succeeded at Thu.
Nice. All right.
Yay! There's your success roll.
McPherson did not succeed, but Carson got it through success.
I got a through success.
All right. So that's a total of 3. All right, so you guys are perilously hanging off the edge of the ship. You've been well hoisted. Let's see. All right, now I'm going to. This is going to be a contested roll between the sea and you. I'm going to make a roll for how well you can hang on for one more round, and you guys give me a roll again. You
Okay.
need to get a success, at least one success to get over, and then if the sea has some successes versus you, then you're going to need more. Oh wow! All right, actually, you don't need to because as you're trying, the kids take stuff in hand, and they seem to have some sort of routine for hauling these people aboard because McPherson gets his left arm under the guy's right arm. Carson gets his right arm under the guy's left arm. They do a heave. The guy comes right over the rail. So this maneuver, at least they practiced. They got like 4 successes between them. All right, so you're all sputtering and you're coughing on deck. This is, you have retrieved an Oni. You recognize him pretty obviously. Onis are large. The closest thing in D&D that looks like them is an orc, but Onis are a lot more varied than orcs. They can have blue, purple, white, red skin. They can have horns. They can have devilish beards, that sort of things. Anyway, I'm not going to describe him very much because he is, slight spoiler, a placeholder. So this Oni has come on board. He's completely dead to the world, but he's not actually dead. He's breathing. He is just utterly unconscious. He has no possessions. His shoes are gone. His trousers are torn, and his shirt has been made into a sling. It's got him, brutally affixed to this plank of board that also came up with him.
Oh, so he didn't tie himself.
I can use my magic to infuse him with vitality, but I don't know if we should lock him up first or something.
So this guy looks like he was tied to this board by someone that was not him.
No, it looks like he did this himself. Oni are fairly well known to be strong, and it looks like he did it in desperation. Like he just brutally tied himself to this. Give me 10 rolls. Or survive. If you've got either Ken or survive, you can use that. Otherwise, just an intellect roll. Anyone who's interested can do this. Any success will be a factor.
I'm doing it because I'm really good at Ken.
I feel like I cheated. I used the roller, and the die was like on another symbol, and then it flipped up to my success.
That's awesome. You can thank Mark for that. Mark wrote the roller.
Yep.
It was literally laying down, and it was like not laying even on the ground, and then it just flipped over to another side, which, like I said, was my success for intellect.
Yeah, I programmed it so that from your IP address, it'll do that. And from Sullivan's, it's always a failure.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll take it then. I succeeded on my intellect.
I think that's true, actually, because I did not succeed with another 67% chance.
Wow, impressive. All right, Ellison, you can share this with the group or not. You're pretty sure this is one of the mages that was attached to the expedition. He is not one of the seniors. He may have been one of the lowest ranking mages, and as such, he may have been one of the people sent in the boat.
Okay, so
the second boat pursuing you.
I, as a player, am seeing an opportunity to have an NPC follow us around for the rest of the campaign at the dismay of the DM. So I'm going to suggest that to the other people here that he is who he is, and we should be very cautious, but optimistic of the opportunities that he presents.
But if he's been thrown off, then perhaps he does not like the rest of the crew like us, and maybe he'll like our crew, and I think that's worth trying out.
Well, or it could have been that his boat exploded due to lightning bolts.
Skunk lightning.
Well, worse comes to worse. Call down another lightning.
So these guys, I mean, I'm not a small anthrid.
Right.
But I'm also not the size of this thing. Do I look like I may be in trouble if he were to get up and decide he wants to tumble?
You know from reputation, Oni are the fiercest of the races. And everyone, I mean, it's not necessarily deserved. Like anything else, stereotypes exist. But they are pretty well known to be fierce, scary. Many of them have well stronger than average builds. The only you have, if this guy is who you think he is, he's a mage and he probably wouldn't be able to take you in a fight. You would certainly not be able to lift him, throw him around very easy. He's probably about 300 pounds. He's probably 6'6", something like that. He's a pretty tall guy, but he doesn't strike you as a bodybuilder type.
Okay.
From what you've seen, everybody attached to those mages were intellectuals. They were not major combatants. Now, not to say that he couldn't cast a spell to turn you inside out or something, but
Right.
aside from that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this up to you guys. Do we want to try and revive him and see what's going on?
I want to heal
So
him.
McPherson's going to roll him on his side, and some seawater comes out and some bubbles, but he's breathing okay. He seems like he may even have some scorch marks somewhere around his back area. Don't know what that could have been from, and he's resting. He's recuperating. So he's not going to feel starry if you leave him asleep.
Okay, what do you think, friends, is the chance that we could convince him that someone else lightning bolted him?
Or that it was out of desperation and fear that we needed to get away?
No, because I think he would not respect that. We could either blame it on the gods, or say that it was the captain. What was the captain's name?
The captain, Leopold Tenley.
Yeah, tell him that Leopold lightning bolted him.
And that he's no longer here.
At this point, Griffith comes up on deck and is like, "What's going on? Oh, nasty. Where did you fish this?"
Take a
Only
wild guess. The ocean is the answer to that guess.
The water. Oh, yes, I was going to say the water. Well, is he completely unconscious?
For the moment.
It sounds so creepy when you ask that question.
Maybe I can.
No, I'm
revive
going to
him.
heal him. We're just debating if that's a good idea because you did shoot him with lightning.
The captain shot him
Oh,
with lightning.
how do you know?
Well, you see this big scorch mark on his back?
Well, let me look.
As far as I can tell, there's nothing else that would have caused that.
Griffith goes ahead and just sort of walks his way to the deck where this guy is laying on, and just starts to perform some aid.
Okay.
I mean, that's unnecessary. I have magic that can heal him. We're just debating if we should kill him or let him.
I mean, okay, let's think about this logically. Someone shoots you with a lightning bolt, and then they heal you. Are you mad at this person for shooting you with a lightning bolt and then healing you? I think I would be a little upset about that. I mean, yeah, they healed me, but
I
they
would
were
not
also
be mad because I know that all struggle and hardship is part of the plan of the elder beings, and they are just trying to sharpen me so that I might succeed later in life.
Excellent.
So no, I would not harbor any anger against the lightning bolter.
How smart are you? On a scale of 1 to 6, how intellectual are you?
So, unbeknownst to you guys, what I'm really doing is fishing through this guy's pockets to
course
see
you
if there's
are.
anything good.
Okay, there is nothing in his pockets. He's kicked off his shoes. There's nothing of value on him at all. He's just sodden. You do notice that the scorch mark on his back looked a little bit like a lightning bolt as you first looked at it, but now it more resembles a sassy sort of skunk tail shape.
Okay, well, the other thing we could do
What?
is heal him and then actually blame it on the person who did it, and then you and I are safe from anger.
Yes, we should blame it on the person who did it, because this is not a lightning bolt scar, so sounds great.
Okay, well, you did it. It's clearly a lightning bolt scar.
No, it's not.
It looks like skunk lightning. So this guy, I'll just go ahead let you know. This guy,
You know what? Let's lock him in the brig, and I'll heal him. Do we have a
he'll
brig?
survive if you don't kill him or throw him overboard. If you do either of those things, he's done for. There is a brig. It was full of supplies, but those were all emptied when you came ashore. So there's a brig you could lock him up in if you want.
All right, let's lock him in the
Why
brig
would they
and then
lock
heal
up the
him.
supplies?
How about that?
I don't understand. Why were the supplies locked in the brig? What did they do?
I know, good.
New mystery. Writing it down.
So I need help taking this guy to the brig because I'm not the strongest fellow.
Yes, I'll help you. I can pick him up.
Griffith can just throw this guy over his shoulder like a doll.
Ooh.
I'm gonna regret this, man. All right, I'm gonna create a god of non-molestation, and I'm gonna have him constantly watch you guys. I'll do this before the next meeting. He'll be ready.
I only have consensual molestations.
I'm thinking,
I am Condom, the god of consensual sex.
Condom. We have to come up with a better way to pronounce it. Condom. All right, excellent. You are hopefully following always follow the dictates of condom. And
You said dictate.
You guys bundle him off to the brig.
Yeah.
He's easily locked up there. You can cast your healing magic on him if you want. It doesn't look like he's going to die without it. It just looks like it'll take him a lot longer to recover.
I'm gonna deboard him, and then I'll cast heal on him.
Oh, deboard him. You're going to remove the board from his... Yeah,
Yes.
good. I really should have specified that, but I
Board
had
him.
pictured that was gone anyway. All right,
Yeah.
so cast you've got a heal spell?
Yeah, I have heal. And then the R in the description, that's the risk
The
level,
risk
right?
level, yeah. So for something like this,
So can I just choose for that to be 1?
yes, exactly. That makes the most sense for something like
Okay.
this, because you don't care if you get him back up to his full hit points. You just want him to, be sure he's going to survive.
So do I just say that, or do I need to roll, or what?
You roll, and this is a Ken roll.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's really just a Ken roll. All right, any successes?
Yeah, I succeeded on verve.
All right, excellent. So his breathing becomes less stertorous. He coughs out a little more seawater, then starts taking deeper breaths, and he seems all in one piece now. He does not wake up. You see eyelids open and eyes sort of wander around in a completely dazed fashion, and then he just rolls over on his side, sort of recovery position, and starts sawing wood like he's very happy to be sleeping in a brig rather than on the open sea.
Okay. Do we have like rations of food at all?
That's great. That's a great question. So you have rations. The skeleton crew on there had enough rations for themselves, and this was a very well provisioned expedition. But you don't know how many of the rations remain on board. You're sure there are some.
I would very much like to go check for them.
Okay, so you want to inventory your rations next? Is it?
Yes, I want to ration my inventory.
Okay. This is going to take a little while to do this. You've got the more pressing issue of the sea jostling the boat, the air, the wind is picking up, and you might want to set sail away. It's totally fine if you want to count rations while somebody else does that, but I want to resolve if the boat's going anywhere before we go into
No, you're
counting
right.
rations.
You're right. I'll make someone else count rations.
I'll count rations.
I am Count Rations.
All right, so the wind is picking up. McPherson helped you guys carry the stranger down to the brig. Carson resumed his post on deck. McPherson's going back up to the deck, and he's looking at you guys suspiciously. He has no idea, especially he's worried about Griffith. What's going on with this guy that you just pulled out of the drink? But he goes on up as well.
All right, I come up and say,
Carson and McPherson, that was incredible work. You are a well-oiled team. And now we need to use that skill to set sail for the nearest isle.
Oh, very, very well done. Okay, give me a charm roll. That's verve if you don't have charm, and add 1 automatic success to it. Because that's exactly
Okay.
what they needed to hear.
can I fucking stop rolling Aquarius every time I do it?
Well, it is the age of Aquarius.
Okay, so you got your 1 automatic success and nothing else.
I did not get a success on my
That's
die.
fine. You got an automatic success.
I did on my intellect, but that doesn't matter, right?
Well, if you have charm, it would.
Oh, well, I don't, so.
That's okay. That's what they needed to hear. So you still got the automatic success. So unless you got a bail roll, unless both your lucks were your bail roll, then that didn't go wrong.
No.
So Larson he opens his mouth as if he's going to make a vote as to how or why to do this, but your orders come across pretty clearly. Everyone falls into the pattern. Are you guys going to help them? You can go, if you guys help them with the sales, you'll be able to go twice as fast. You're not, I mean, we're talking about just a few knots in any case, but there are not enough people or golems on here to manage all the sales. So if you help with the sales, the bark will go about twice as fast. Also, you guys need to decide on the direction. North is fairly ruled out. West is fairly ruled out because you suspect you're at the edge of the world. I'll let you sail right over there, but
No.
this will get into Call of Cthulhu territory pretty quick if you do that. And the other directions are, where you came from, fairer seas, and they're, as far as you know, they're all open for however you choose. You can also stay where you are.
Well, I mean, where's the nearest habitated landmass?
This expedition has probably been at sea for at least 2 months now, and did not put in at any port. Many ports were passed, but on the map many ports were passed. You never sighted any. The expedition was intentionally avoiding land.
Well, do we have maps?
Well, I don't know. Do you?
Yes, I have maps.
Google Maps. right here on my clay.
I don't know if we have that many maps, but we have a few.
Yeah, so the maps would be in the captain's quarters. You can go search there if you want.
Okay, in which direction did we come from?
As you approached here, it was going almost due west. But overall, you've been traveling northwest the whole time. So you came from the southeast overall. From the east, most recently.
Okay.
Just set a course southeast for now. I will check the maps and find a more educated course soon.
All right. So how many people want to work on course? How many people want to work on sales?
I'm a pretty good salesman.
I don't know why that was so funny. That's terrible. I guess because I'm a dad.
I mean, as someone who is stronger than they are smart, which would be a better choice to assist?
Yeah, I think maybe you should help out on deck then. Okay. Everyone who's helping on deck, give me Thu rolls. You can also, if you've got them, give me Survive, which is Thu contributing to intellect. So either Thu or Survive if you're on deck helping with the sails and the sailing. Anyone who goes below.
Oh, I got my bail.
I'm going to go below.
Oh, okay. All right.
In
That's fine.
successes.
Did you get 2 of them?
Yes, yeah.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
God.
So that happens 1 out of 36 times. That's very rare. So we'll figure out something good to do with that. I might even involve you guys in helping me with that. Let's get a roll for the folks in the cabin. Intellect roll if you don't have anything else. Survive also could apply for orienteering, for setting the course. So either intellect or survive for the people in the cabin.
And I can't use my native ground knack here, can I? That's just +1 to observe at ocean. Again,
You can use it. I'm going to let you use it.
I got a success on intellect.
Okay, awesome. What does native ground give you?
It says +1 to observe at ocean.
Okay. I think that it might be plus. Let's just say it's +1 success, so I don't have to look it up. So that's an additional success. It could be an advantage, but I think if it says +1, it's probably +1 match. Okay, so Griffith got a match, right?
Yes, I got an intellect match. I got, what is that, Virgo? Yes, I got Virgo. So, just by chance, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
what is that? Like the Virgin. So, it's my first
Yeah.
time ever looking at a map, and I'm just like, oh, it's clearly right here.
You're not mapping, you're sailing.
Contemplating, planning. Those are aspects of Virgo. So yeah, you're doing good planning You're using your brain for what it's for. Well done.
So, Sullivan, it was a dad joke for me to do sales. I am like fully intellect. I have 3 aspects in intellect, so obviously I'm not going to be doing manual labor.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were a
I mean, I'm a big dude, but I'm not. I'm smart. I use my smarts. Don't you remember? Maybe you don't remember. While everybody else
You don't
was
strike
doing,
me smart. You strike me as an utter
Oh
fool.
God!
when everybody was
No.
doing actual work to unload, I was just pretending like I was helping.
I remember that now.
Yep, that's called smarts.
Yep.
Roll for laziness.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I succeeded on intellect, and I also got 2 successes that don't matter.
Okay, awesome. What are your successes that don't matter? So guys, mechanically there are
Taurus and Libra.
Taurus and Libras. Mechanically, guys,
And my other one is Scorpio.
there are uses for these matches that don't matter. So
Okay.
it's not guaranteed, but it's okay to tell me about that. So Taurus through and Libra, and I forget where Libra is.
Alacrity.
Okay, awesome.
I got a verve, but I don't think that.
I obviously have forgotten the symbol. There's the symbol. Okay. All right. So I think that you guys are going to have an easy job explaining this to the folks around. If you follow to the east, there is a wide oceanic passage. To the southeast, after some small distance, an archipelago.
Oh, let's go there.
And to the south is fairly uncharted. There's here be monsters. But, you know, even though that's on a lot of the maps, you guys aren't exactly sure how accurate it is.
Well, we know where there are monsters, so let's keep going that way. I think we should go to the archipelago islands. Archipelago islands.
So wait, my goal is to determine where ports are. Did I find where any ports are?
Oh, I'm sure there's some on the islands.
So in the archipelago, the islands closest to you are not well charted. They are probably inhabited. The island the furthest from you is the largest island in the archipelago, and it does have a port on it. The port of Fanim on the island Haranu. None of you guys have ever been to Haranu or Fanim, except for maybe Vok. He's got maritime background, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Vok, roll a Ken roll to see if you know anything about Fanim, and you're going to need at least 2 successes because it's not a well-visited port by any means.
I got at least 0
Okay.
successes.
You've heard that it's an exotic place. You've heard that they have some unusual provisions there. Root vegetables, maybe, something like that are particularly popular, but that's all you know. It's shrouded in mystery.
My favorites.
I just want to say the roll I just made is 1 luck die away from the worst possible roll I can get.
Okay, so we need to
Oh, you know what? I forgot. I have physical dice.
Yeah, you do. You can try those. We need to handle Ellison's Bale. And I kind of want to involve you guys in this. The Bale is like a crit fail in D&D, but it's even rarer. It's almost twice as rare as a crit fail.
Ellison's dead.
But you know, there are times in D&D where I think a crit fail is just stupid. Like if you're trying to search a bag and you crit fail, what, you tie it over your head and you suffocate? No, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know how much you guys actually have sailing experience, but it's extremely dangerous.
Oh yeah, sure. And I don't have any experience, but there's all sorts of things that could happen. You could fall out of the rigging.
Especially if you're friggin' in it.
Hey.
You could fall overboard. You could, a hawser could snap and you could hit in the face or something. You could lose fingers, all sorts of things. I don't want to start chopping off characters' fingers, but how do we want to handle Ellison's Bale? So he was trying to help with the sales. He would be doing heavy work.
I did get an alacrity success, but
Oh, you did?
So I got, but that's not. I was aiming for Thu, obviously. So I got alacrity success and my Bale.
Okay, all right. So the Bale is -2 matches, and you got 1 alacrity success. So that's -1 matches. That's still something bad, but it's not. There's no way this kills you. It probably doesn't even seriously hurt you. It might be some kind of cosmetic scar.
Like maybe I break something or something like that.
Yeah. So let's. I think the way to handle this is that Larson shouted at you to raise a topsail, and you clambered up the rigging to do that, and you fell very poorly. You did not pay attention to the yard. It swung around. You fell, and your alacrity success is you were able to grab onto rigging as you came down, so you're not seriously damaged. But you've lost a lot of credibility, and you had some guffaws at your expense by all the kids on deck. They now they think that you are not. They're pretty sure that you are not as good a leader as they are.
Emotional damage, the worst
Yes.
kind.
Yes. All right. Let me know if you guys like figuring out these sort of narrative things like that, Bale, or if you prefer me to just dictate them.
I mean, I like how this is going. You know, I don't mind giving suggestions, but listening to what you ultimately decide. I mean, it's fun being part of the storytelling sometimes, but I don't want to try to, like cop out of rolling a bail in this situation.
Right. Okay, perfect. So, you guys are coming about to the southeast, heading toward the archipelago. It's called the Horanu Archipelago because that's the only well-known island in it. You were approaching it from the side of the many smaller islands. I think that we're going to decide a certain number of sailing successes that you need to get where you're going, and a certain number of failures that mean you are off course or you've had some sort of negative encounter. All right. We'll start with everyone choosing their most applicable skill, and then if that doesn't get us where we're going, we'll do the next most applicable skill. Each success and failure, I think, is going to represent one day at sea. Everybody pick a skill that you think is going to be the most applicable. I'm going to give you some suggestions. Charm might help you with convincing the kids who actually kind of know what they're doing to follow your commands and to behave as you would like. Marshall could convince them that you are actually in a leadership role, and for Ellison, that would help convince them that you're not a buffoon
Yes.
because they think
That's what I was hoping to do, is try to get some credibility back by just telling them what to do instead of showing them what not to do.
Right.
It's really what I was hoping for.
I did that on purpose, guys. Did you see where I went wrong there? Can you find the flaw in my approach?
Yeah, who can tell me what I did wrong?
Exactly.
Teaching moment.
So there's Ken.
Yeah, I'm going to use Ken to like scan the stars or whatever.
Yeah, and the maps you can look for.
Yep.
It's going to be difficult because you're well at sea. There won't be landmarks, but you can definitely navigate.
Well, I mean, the map has like some waves that people have drawn on it. I just compare those to the waves that are in the water.
Right. Just be sure that they. Well, hey guys, I found this wave here.
Yeah.
Follow that wave. Follow it.
That looks about right. Yeah.
Oh wait, that wave's on the wrong side of the ship. Turn hard right.
Survive and observe are also good ones here. So all of those will be great skills to try. And the kids are going to just be trying to respond to your orders. So they're not going to add anything to this, but they're not going to take anything away either. And the difficulty of this, you know what? I'm going to roll for the sea. So the sea is going to present some difficulty for you, and it's going to get more difficult as the days go by, because if you're off course, you'll be just getting further off course, and it will take a while before you know. Okay, so let's all make a roll. All of you with your best roll, how you're going to approach it, and I'll roll for the sea, and we'll see what we get.
All right, I'm going to use Ken for sure, because that's my best skill. Other than aid, I don't think that helps. Well, oh my God. I got 2 of the same luck die, but neither are good or bad for me, so it doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness.
No, oh yeah, you're right. It doesn't, you don't get any for that.
I don't like your Faustrolog roller.
It doesn't like you either.
It helped
I'm
you
about
out
to
just a minute ago.
I'm about to start rolling for real.
Well, I gave Sullivan physical dice, so we'll see what he does.
I have 0 successes on anything.
Okay.
Oh, I have something on Thu, but I don't think that helps.
So I got 1 success for Ken, plus I rolled a Libra.
Okay, and that's a success in
Does
alacrity.
not impact my successes.
But that is part of your character, right? Libra.
No, Ken is verb intellect.
But the Libra you rolled, that's one of your alacrity aspects. Is what you're saying. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So that one was a dead no. You guys I'm not going to tell you actually.
Yeah, you can tell us.
Yeah, you feel good though. You feel like that you did even better than the rolls that you made.
That's right.
Okay. Now that you've spent 2 days at sea, and you're feeling like things are going well.
Mm-hmm.
Carson, Larson, McPherson, they are barely subduing their worry.
Wait, I need to interject here. Since days are actually passing now. So, first of all, did I ever find the rations, or did someone ever find them?
Oh yeah. Okay. So you have got
1 day's
you've
worth of
got
rations.
6 weeks worth of rations.
Oh, yeah, so no worries.
Cool.
We'll easily get there.
And so I need to talk to and give food to the Oni.
Okay.
I do not want him to starve.
So the Oni is very thankful with food that you are giving him. He is not making a lot of sense. Babbling, he's talking affrightedly about lights in the sky. You think that this is some PTSD. He's recovering from some sort of shock. So he is not being violent. He is certainly thankful for the food, but he's not being polite or anything. He's just eating it. He's obviously a person of some training. He's not eating this like an animal. If you give him a spoon, he will eat with a spoon. But he's not making a lot of sense in his speech.
I don't understand what shock could have occurred.
Exactly.
So I'll basically give him food every time we eat, and I'll occasionally sit down there with him so that he doesn't get whatever that's called, isolation syndrome.
Very good. Very good. All right.
I will sit down with him so that he gets what's that called? Where like you fall
Horny?
in love with your captors?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm, sweet Stockholm.
And then one more thing I need.
All right, what's that?
One more thing I need is I have the visionary flack. So when I dream, I need you to give me a vision, and basically whenever I take an action that would not progress me towards that vision's fruition, I get a -1.
How the hell do you know the rules to this game? Like I have
Right?
no clue what the rules are.
Like my flack is conspicuous, and I just assume that means that I'm not tricking anybody at any point ever.
Well,
into
no.
thinking I'm doing something I'm not.
Yeah. It's a little bit more like that. Or if you were trying to hide in a crowd, it would be very difficult for you. People will know. If it's a crowded bar and somebody says, "Hey, is Elson here?" There, everyone just points to you. Yeah, that's him over there.
That's the guy that doesn't know what he's doing on a boat.
Did you hear he fell off the rigging?
He tried to save it. He grabbed the ring on the way down and tried to teach us about it. You guys see what I did there?
He tried to play it off, and he was not very, very successful.
Nobody bought it. The only people who saw it were like 17 years old, and they were still not impressed at all. All right. So let's form Sully's vision here. Let's form Vox vision. So Debtor.
Debtor is probably the Oni, right?
Yeah, it could well be. Let's see. One who has received something they cannot yet repay, leads either to accountability or slavery, not free to pursue their own heart until absolved. So this it could be that you feel like, maybe you feel like you owe the Oni for being part of the party that blasted him, or maybe you feel like the Oni owns you.
No,
owes
we
you.
definitely owe him.
Chaos, source of evolution. Self-aware beings require background chaos for sanity. The amount needed varies. That's a strange way of saying it, but you're definitely in a chaotic situation. I'll try to make it more chaotic. that is modified by chlorophyll. Life draws sustaining energy passively from something, and that would be chaos. So chlorophyll doesn't actually mean that it's solar powered. It just means that it's powered by something, and this is some powered by
He's
chaos.
a vampire.
So I need to use chaos to repay my debt to the Oni.
I think so. I think that's a good interpretation. This relationship between chlorophyll and chaos reminds me of Littlefinger's speech in Game of Thrones, where he says chaos is a ladder. But yeah, you need to take advantage of your chaotic situation somehow to repay the debt to the Oni. That's your vision. That's pretty cool.
And if any time I'm working against that, I get a -1 to my rolls,
Right.
like an automatic failure.
The thing is, when you call these out, you're getting bonuses sort of behind the scenes. So even if you give yourself a failure, doing it by following rules like that is going to work to your advantage sometime later. You're still going to get the failure, but something will help you down the road. So for these two successes that we had in this last attempt that did not apply to the sailing, so I think that Vok had an alacrity success, and was it Ellison that had another success that didn't directly apply?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys get advantage, and you can do this with a coin or something just to remind you. This is slightly similar to inspiration in D&D, but you can have any number of advantage tokens. What you do with the advantage is that you can re-roll any one die. So it's not as powerful as D&D where you make the whole roll again, but instead you can re-roll any one die that you just rolled. And I would say use it sooner rather than later, because I'm going to try to be giving that to you guys more often. The nights are still very eerie. In the distance, you hear gulls, but you never actually see them. Fortunately, the insane man silhouette of a giant man straddling the horizon sort of thing has not reappeared. Fortunately, the waves look more like waves and not the abstract ones, drawn on the map. Your worry is reduced somewhat. The clay golems that are walking around, you've learned that they have numbers, not names, and they're just numbered 1 through 5. You may be a little intimidated by how well they use these golems. The boys are real sailors, and they know how to tell the golems how to sail. The golems cannot sail, but with fairly detailed instructions from the mates, they can. And so that's what they are doing, very clumsily, but much better than you guys could ever handle. You are also impressed with their strength. Each one of them is doing the work of at least 2 men. Not very cleverly, not very detailed, but with great strength and great weight. They are lifting things with pulleys that would have just picked an anthrid person right off their feet. And the golems, the clay golems, can do this quite easily with their mass. You're a bit unsettled at the babbling of the Oni. You are happy that he is not freaking out. You're happy that he's not violent. He's not made any attempt to escape the brig, in fact. He just seems really grateful that you're giving him food. As far as other elements in the sea, is there anything you're looking for? Is there anything else you want to do ancillarily before we make our next day's worth of rolls?
I don't think I need to do anything.
Okay. So let's make another roll. The sea is going to be, each time we do this, until you get enough successes, things are going to get a little more difficult with the sea. So, all right.
0 successes. I think I'm going to go get my dice.
I don't think alacrity plays in at all. But for my Ken, I did get 1 success. I got Palace.
Yeah, last time I got an intellect success.
Okay.
And I also rolled Taurus, which matches for me. I just thought you wanted to know that. Because earlier you were like, this might affect your situation.
Does. Okay.
This time I just got a verve success for Ken.
Okay.
Oh, good. We both got a success. That's good.
Okay. So you have sailed for another 2 days under much the same circumstances. You hear more gulls in the distance. It doesn't make sense. Gulls should really only be around islands.
Mm-hmm.
So far out at sea, well, hear gulls. Maybe you might see an albatross or some bird that can fly great distances, but you wouldn't expect the voices of seagulls. You don't actually see them anywhere. You just occasionally hear them on.
Did you say albatross?
I did.
Does it come with crackers?
Okay. The sailing goes much the same way as before. The Oni seems to be slightly improving. The weather seems to be slightly improving. It is overcast. It is, but it's not been stormy yet. Let me know if you guys are going to do any other efforts in those 2 days. We'll resolve those, and then I'll tell you what happened.
I think my main priority is just to get to an island.
Everybody give me an observe roll, which is an intellect roll unless you have observe.
All right. Mm-hmm. I got a success. Palace.
Okay.
I got my automatic success from native
Okay.
ground, but I didn't roll a success.
All right. You, Griffith, are the first to notice on the northern horizon. You notice something. It seems like it might be land. It's something like a small island. Is what you notice. Vok, once Griffith points this out to you, you suspect this may be the source of the sounds of gulls that you've been hearing on the wind. Because it seems to you, can't be sure, but it seems to you that when the wind is blowing from that direction is when you hear the gulls. Griffith, based on your studying the chart, everything else, this is not on the chart. You're pretty sure this is not on the chart, and it makes you a little worried about what the heck this is. If it wasn't on the chart, maybe it's just an uncharted island. It does not look large at all. Perspective is difficult at great distances across the sea, but it might not even be much larger than a few of your ships. So you guys have the choice to sail on and ignore it, or you can go and try to investigate.
I mean, how boring would we be if we didn't investigate?
It's perfectly fine. I'm prepared for both outcomes.
How much time did you spend on the we investigate scenario?
I've spent a lot more time on the you eventually get to land scenario. After we talked about what we were going to do, most of the stuff I've planned so far is on land. But yeah, I spent at least an hour or two on the you investigate scenario.
Okay, so let's not investigate at all.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I think we should go investigate. I mean, why not? We could find something we can use. We could find rations, maybe. We could find death.
Yes.
Possibilities are
This
good.
is clearly a sign from the elder beings above guiding us to a treasure or something.
Wait, is the island shaped like an X?
It's too far away to tell.
I don't mean physical treasure. I mean more like abstract treasure, like bettering oneself or becoming more adept at a skill or ability.
You're really not selling me on this.
Or learning something new that you didn't know before.
All right.
Well, despite you convincing me not to, I still think we should go and investigate this.
All right. You've received some strange looks from the young men in the crew, but you don't get any dissent, and they change course, and the San Celeste begins to approach this object, this apparently island. As it approaches and gets larger, you do not see trees. You do not see mountain peaks. There are features of land at sea that you are trained to recognize, and you're not seeing them. You do not believe that it is a reef, though, because you would expect as you approach for the reef to get a little higher or lower uniformly versus the sea level, and it's not doing that. Its size is larger than just a few of your ships, but if it were something like a whale, it would be one of the biggest whales you've ever seen, and you don't see it raising a fluke. You don't see it moving at all. You become more and more sure that there are gulls around it. You'll be getting within good observation distance of it at this rate by approximately dusk. The kids are unnerved by this, and you hear at least one of them use the term blasted whale. That is Vok, from your experience that a blasted whale is a whale that has been harpooned or chased for a long time and escaped, but wounded so badly that it eventually died and floated to the surface. Very often whales just sink to the seabed when they die. But it might be the carcass of a whale. If it is, it's the biggest one you've ever seen. You're less sure it's an island. Are you still thinking you want to go explore? Everybody give me an observe roll. I will give you a detail about it for every match you get on your observe roll. That's intellect.
Is that intellect? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I got 2 successes.
I got
oh
one.
boy. Okay,
0.
all right. Vok, you see a metallic glint. You're sure you see a metallic glint from this thing, and you have no idea why that would be. You can't think of any whale or island or anything that would have enough metal on it to glint in the sun like this. Your 2 successes mean that you saw it once and you became curious, and you saw it again in another place and you became sure. There is some sort of metal or maybe crystal or maybe glass, something on the island that is brightly reflecting the sun occasionally. And it seems to have to do with the orientation of where your ship is in respect to the island.
There's something odd about this carcass. Surely this is a sign from the Elder Ones. They want us to investigate and earn great power and knowledge.
Griffith, your success is a scent. You smell something fairly unwholesome. You become more convinced that, yeah, maybe this is a carcass, maybe this is something in some early phase of putrefaction.
It smells horrid.
But we must investigate it. It's shining and gleaming and reflecting the light.
I mean, of course, we're going to investigate it. I'm just saying that it smells.
Well, yes, it's a whale corpse.
The kids are all really laughing at Griffith saying something smells bad. As you approach, the mist of dusk seems to rise slightly on the sea. It's not interfering with your vision very much. The loss of light in the sky makes things a little more difficult, but the sky is still fairly blue, even though the sun itself is not falling directly on the wave crests anymore. And the glint becomes more apparent as you pull up to a giant cadaver, is the best way you could describe this. You pull up to the right shoulder of what looks like a man, at least 200 feet tall. He's laying on his back. He's not moving at all. He's wearing a helmet made out of what looks like brass. He's wearing a necklace made of what looks like gold. And he's wearing a skirt that's held up with a belt buckle that looks like gold. The rest of him is dangling in the water. You can't see his hands or his feet. The gulls, unfortunately, are swarming in and out of his helmet, which mercifully is hiding his features, because it seems like that's where they're paying the most attention. The helmet is sort of a Athenian style, or well, Spartan style T slot for the mouth and eyes, and the gulls are swarming in and out of that. It's not reeking as if you were pulling up to some pit of decay, but the smell is unmistakable now. It's definitely the smell of rot.
Okay, so this thing isn't going to just stand up and swat us because it's dead.
It really doesn't look like it's doing anything except laying there getting eaten by gulls.
Okay. Well,
More observe rolls, please.
2 successes.
I got nothing.
Buck, as an experienced mariner, you would expect that there would be more than gulls chewing on this thing, and you're right. There are sharks. There are sharks. They're not in a frenzy. In fact, they are smaller sharks. You don't see huge, great white kind of sharks, but there are probably makos, probably blue sharks, probably reef sharks moving around every area where this cadaver's body comes in contact with the water. You think it is probably riding sort of low in the water because some of the mass of the body has already been removed from underneath by the sharks.
Okay. Yeah, I'll relay that information and
Do not fall in the water. The sharks are probably more interested in the whale, but they could hit you just in the crossfire. So, water bad right now.
Water bad. Larson orders Carson and McPherson to the other side of the boat. The boat, as it's approaching the cadavers on the starboard side, he orders the other two juniors to the port side in hopes of reducing their fear. They are clearly freaked out, and Larson himself is obviously freaked out, but is doing an extremely good job of keeping his hat on, keeping his wig on.
So, do you guys want some gold?
Yeah.
Okay, who's gonna go down and get the gold?
Looks like maybe your popular fantastical impression of a Titan. He's got a sort of regal gold necklace. The pieces of the gold in this necklace look unwieldily large, but it is held together with gold wire that you might be able to harvest. The helmet does not look like gold, but it's golden hued. It looks like brass. As you get closer, you notice he's got some sort of sandals on, but they are riding under the water. He's wearing a skirt with a golden chain around it and a belt buckle. There's no indication yet from your point of view. If this really were a Titan, he would have like some giant wound or something. You haven't heard thunder, you haven't heard gods fighting. This is out of context. There's no reason at all that you would find something like this. This is not part of anyone's experience. Everyone is very unsettled.
So, as far as looting the body, most of this stuff is going to be too large for me to carry alone.
Do we have like a crane on the boat anywhere?
Still, if he's a Titan, he's too large to bring on the boat.
Surely is.
He's huge.
No,
Even a small
all
piece
these-
of gold
I mean-
from this Titan be riches for us.
A ring.
Exactly. Look at that wire. That's like a 50-foot hempen rope, but instead of hempen, it's gold.
So it weighs 20 pounds?
Depends on how many feet of it you cut.
I was referring to the 10-pound hempen rope that is.
Okay.
Well, we just take as much as we can
Yeah.
carry, because
Okay. Sounds like fun.
I mean, I'm all for
I feel
gold.
like I'm gonna stand and watch from
There is no crane on this boat. There is a sort of pulley system for launching of the lifeboat, which you've now retrieved. So you might be able to use something like that, but it's it would be dubious at best. It would be tricky.
Doobies.
There's rope ladder that you can throw over the side. There's netting you can throw over the side. So getting down to and up from the body is quite feasible. Any big mistakes, any big mishap might throw you into literally shark-infested water. So that is a fact.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Whoever has the most
Mhm.
alacrity goes down there, ties off some rope on some things, disconnects them from the body, and we just pull them up onto the boat. Whoever
Okay.
is going to be the safest climbing all over this thing.
I have 1 alacrity and 2 thew.
Did I just screw myself? I have 2 alacrity and 3 thew. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna climb on down, and before I let go of the ladder or whatever on the boat, I'm gonna gently and slowly place my foot on this being, and make sure that the footing is sure and that it's not gonna like swat me like a mosquito.
Okay, so I will talk you through all that. There's not going to be any 100% sure footing at this because you're both on waves, you're both floating side by side. But this is very much like the feeling is very much like a fairly large ship at a floating pier. So it's certainly doable.
Okay, one thing I want to do though is have a rope tied around me, and I
Good
want
idea.
the big skunk holding onto that to yank me, just drag me across everything and get me back on the boat if I fall in the water.
That's a good plan.
Sure.
I think that's going to give you advantage. Okay, and you can use that to help steady yourself a little bit as you work if needed. This is jaunt, so it's an alacrity roll modified by 3.
Well, excellent. Okay, so here we go. Oh my god, I rolled all 6s, so I don't have jack shit. Oh, I'm supposed to have 2 luck. Let me see what this one is. Did I?
So that is so good. So you can say that my dice roller is as good as your
I
dice.
rolled 4 6s and 2 4s. 2 of the 6s were luck, making it my bail. So I
Oh
failed.
my god!
I failed spectacularly. I'm gonna be riding the side of the boat, getting back up in there.
I said you have advantage, so
Okay,
you can
so-
reroll one of those. And I think you should reroll one of those luck dice.
Yes, I am going to reroll to a non-6.
Hopefully, avoid your
Okay.
bail. Yeah.
Yes,
Come on,
I
get
got
a
a
6.
2.
Come on, get a
So
6.
Okay.
I'm now safe.
Ah.
Your testicles feel like hush puppies. The boat bounces against the corpse at a certain time you weren't ready for. You end up spreading your legs, and a toothy maw comes up and snaps between them.
Woof.
Your heart is in your throat, and everything else is in your body cavity hiding. You did not fall in. You did not die. Unless you call to be pulled up. Well, actually, even if you call to be pulled up, you're working at a 1 success penalty.
Okay.
That means, if you roll 2 successes, you'll still succeed. But if you just roll 1, you're breaking even.
Right. Okay. So my question is, am I at least stable? Like, if I just take a breather for a minute and thank whatever god I
You can catch your breath.
yeah.
You're not stable. But yeah, you can catch your breath. You don't have to knee jerk out of this. You can try to jaunt again. You can speak for help. You can come up with whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a minute to securely tuck my dangly bits before I try this again.
Gird your loins.
and I will attempt to jaunt again. So I need to get 2 successes now.
Yeah. 1 success is break even. 2 successes gets you over there.
Okay, I've got a tilt. Hang on. So I have 1 thew, 1 intellect, 1 alacrity.
That's enough.
And oh man, I rolled a double luck, but it's not one I have.
That's okay. So your thew and your alacrity get you over there. You realized you started off very much on the wrong foot. You almost fed the sharks. You made it across. You're still a little shook by that. Your intellect success helps you choose a spot that is less slimy. So the skin of this creature is much tougher than the skin of a human, or an anthrid rather, would be. It's even tougher than a proportionally enlarged skin would be. So it's almost like climbing a statue. It's wet and slimy because it's been in the sea for a while. You could easily have had trouble clambering up, but that intellect success shows you where the driest parts are. You're able to climb up there. It's a little spongy because it's been rotting. Otherwise, it's annoyingly, unsettlingly smooth, as if the skin was carved out of marble. But yes, you're up on the rib cage of this giant cadaver.
All right. I guess the whole point of me coming down here was looting it, right?
Right? You're going shopping?
It makes me uneasy, because that's not my thing. But I think that's what I need to do since I'm here.
From your position, you're looking at the chin of the Titan, which is a greenish beard. You don't know if this is a seaweed beard, like this is some sort of a sea god, or if this is just the fact that he's been laying here so long, it's got algae and it's got seaweed in the beard. But you can see that underneath the helmet. The necklace around his neck would be amazingly expensive, even if this was a normal-sized creature. So it's a number of discs that are wired together, and the largest disc is in the center. They get smaller as they move out to the sides. On the large disc in the center is what seems like a large, very smooth jewel in the center. The belt buckle is gold. You can tell now it's not solid gold. It's gold plated, or at least gold alloyed, but it seems to be made of something tougher, something more like a steel, or maybe a brass alloy with a lot of gold in it. it's still very expensive. The belt itself is a mesh of chains. So if you were looking for things to cut, if you were just here being entirely mercantile, probably the wire that holds the necklace together would be the easiest thing to cut. The necklace is very heavy. Messing around with any one piece of this could cause you issues. The jewel is set in the necklace. It might be removable. And the belt seems sort of all or nothing. You could probably easily unlatch the belt, but then it would probably just sink.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
If you cut the necklace and reveal one of those discs, I could magnetize it and magnetize part of the ship and bring them together.
Would that sink the ship? How much can the ship hold? How big are these?
I don't know.
How heavy is gold?
The disc in the center with the gem on it is the size of an ox cart. It's like a solid gold ox cart with a gem on it.
That's gonna be heavy.
Oh, then just get the gem. Pop the gem
Discs
out.
on the edge, the smallest discs that you can see above the waterline are the size of like a hoplon, like a large shield that a soldier would carry. A solid gold shield would be very heavy, but there's no way it would sink a ship. The ox cart thing, you're unsure. It wouldn't guaranteed sink the ship, but it might cause her to list.
Okay, so before I go any farther, can I get a closer look, like, up into the helmet? Like, I don't want to just, like, jam my face up in his helmet, but, like, I want to slowly approach and see if there are, if there's anything in the beard, or if there's anything up in the helmet that might hurt me, or if it's just gulls.
Okay, I will tell you a little bit, and then you can decide if you want to keep approaching.
Okay.
The helmet looks like hammered brass. It looks like an excellently made helmet for an anthrid, just, impossibly large and thick.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like anything that you could pierce without magic or, some incredible force. The beard fills all of the helmet you can see from your point of view. It does look a lot like seaweed. You think you'll have to actually touch it to find out if it is all seaweed or if there's, something like human hair in there. You can't see anything of the chin or the face, and all around the edges are the gulls crying and going in and out. And so you have reason to believe that you would be fairly unsettled if you climbed up there and looked at the guy right in the face. But you could do that. It's a T-shaped helmet, sort of like in the movie 300. The beard, whether it's seaweed or not, you can climb through it. You also think that you would not want to just go up there standing only on your feet without any kind of anchoring, because the water is pretty low around the neck, and the neck is slimier than the rest of the body.
Okay. Well, I am still... Okay, so what I'd like to do is then maybe use my grappling hook to toss it up on... I assume there's stuff above me, like his helmet and all that stuff. Is there maybe somewhere I could toss the grappling hook up, get a nice hold on something, and then...
You could get it into the isolate of the helmet.
Okay.
So the helmet is so big that it's almost like you're climbing a house, So
Okay.
yeah, you could throw it up onto the helmet, and there's an isolate there. You saw it during your approach, so there's a good chance you could snag that.
This sounds like a terrible idea, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay, cool. Everybody else on deck is probably like biting their nails. Oh, be careful! All right. So do you have the target skill?
I do not.
Okay, so roll and see if you can get any alacrity success on this. I'll let you use your jaunt, because that applies to climb. And you have jaunt, right?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. This is another jaunt.
Okay, so I have nothing.
I mean, the odds are like hugely in your favor here, right? It's just not your day. Okay, so what happens is that it clangs off the helmet and it slides down into the water. You didn't get any bail, though, right?
No.
Okay, so you could take, if you want to, you can take some time to retrieve and try again. When you try the next time, you'll do it at a 1 success penalty.
Yeah, let's. Let's try it again. I mean, it's a grappling hook. I'm just gonna pull it up and throw it again. That's kind of
Yep.
what you do. You keep throwing until you get it, right?
Yep.
Or until you hit someone in the eyeball and have a giant swatting at you. You know.
Right. Yeah. For that matter, you've seen no muscular reaction, nothing here so far.
So I'll be attacked by something, but it won't be the giant.
When the hook comes up, it's got some nasty bits of what you think must be giant flesh on it.
Oh, nice.
They fall off before it gets all the way up to you. They're not particularly tough, but you think whatever's going on underneath, the sharks have done a lot more damage than the gulls have done on top.
Okay, well that's fair. Okay, so let's
Roll again.
roll again. This time I rolled a success on Thu.
Okay.
I did not get a match in luck, but I did get 2 different matches in. How does that work? Because I got both a soul and a comet.
So the way that we normally do this is that the luck roll doesn't matter unless the dice come up the same, and then you treat that as if that's what you got.
Okay, in that case, I only got 1 Thu.
Yeah, sorry, you didn't succeed. So you were doing that at a 1 match penalty. Right. So what's happened? It hasn't glanced off yet, but it hasn't hooked onto it.
Okay.
Or at least it hasn't hooked firmly onto anything. So you think that if you were to try to climb it now, what would probably happen is that it would fall inside the helmet and maybe hook onto the thing's face, but it's not hooked onto the eye slit where you want it.
No, I'm not climbing if it's not on metal. That just sounds like a bad time for everybody. I'm gonna kind of look up at the guys and kind of lift my shoulders. Like, what do you think? What do I need to do here?
They're all up there like, no, don't do it.
I'm looking for assistance.
I don't know if I can really do
I know.
anything.
Any magic that might help me here?
I can befuddle you.
Yeah, I can hit you with a lightning bolt.
Yeah, I don't think a lightning bolt would be a good thing.
I can magnetize you.
Do you need me to read your mind? I can read your mind.
You would probably just see that I am scared that my dangly bits will get eaten by sharks, and that I'm very frustrated at my lack of.
Well, don't worry, I can heal.
I'm
I can
very
heal
frustrated
your
with my lack of successful throws of the grappling hook.
I would let just so you know, I don't know you want to try this, Griffith, but I would let Magnetize connect the grappling hook to the helmet.
I mean, but so tell me about these spells. Like, if he successfully magnetizes it and I start to climb it, is there a chance it could let go and I just fall off into the water?
He has to concentrate.
Last 40 minutes.
It depends. It depends if it's a concentration spell or if it's just a. I think you're right actually that it's a duration spell. If it succeeds, then it succeeds unless it's dispelled or the rope breaks or something else.
Right.
You could still go in, but it's not. He doesn't have to keep succeeding for it to stick there.
Okay. So yeah. Do you want to try to magnetize it?
Certainly. Yes.
Okay, you only need a risk of 1 for this, Griffith. So make a through roll, risk of 1. I'm sorry, a Ken roll. Make a Ken roll.
A Ken roll,
risk
good.
of 1.
Because with a Ken, I succeed. With
1. Okay. So what happens is the grappling hook sort of wilts, and you hear a creaking as if of metal under strain. Now you feel like that grappling hook is stuck very well. It does not feel like it's going anywhere. And Griffith, you see that the tines of the hook are actually bending down some to stick to the helmet.
Okay. Well,
goody.
I'm grateful that it worked. I'm upset that now I don't have a damn grappling hook.
Yep.
Like that's some straight BS. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start climbing up.
Okay, you can climb easily.
Okay.
Do you want to climb the guy's face, or you want to climb the cheek of the helmet?
I want to stay on the helmet. I don't want to be on his flesh whatsoever.
Okay. It's very distressing to you that the gulls are pouring in and out like flies. They are occasionally pecking or scratching at you. They are a little bit possessive of this prize. Otherwise, you're making your way. It's really stinky. You're considering your life choices, but you don't need to make any other rolls. The hook is firmly attached. Definitely not going in.
Okay.
Do you want to look in? Do you want to look in this helmet?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go extremely slow on my peer into the helmet, and if I start to see something that looks like it might be a little too gory, I'm just gonna back off and be like, "Yep, that's a dead giant."
The thing you notice is that the bits of face that have not been consumed and are not covered by beard are statuesque. This is like Michelangelo's David. It's an incredibly canonical physique of an anthrope, and the eyes are gone. The face is set in a horrifying rictus, though, as if this person has just been incredibly, terribly scared. Just roll all your dice and tell me if you get any successes.
Okay, I'm using the roller again. I
Okay.
got a verve. Yep, a verve.
Okay, and what's your verve success?
What
was the symbol?
It is Jupiter.
Jupiter. All right. So, Jupiter is about might, lightning, egoism, ruling, revealing, expanding. It's only because you have this quality in your character that you are not losing elan, that you're not going somewhat insane, because this is horrifying, terrible for you. So is there something you would like to say about what it is about your verve that keeps your head on straight?
I mean, I'm an experienced hunter, and while I haven't seen humanoids in this state, I have seen many animals that have been in various states of decay. So it kind of helps with what I'm seeing here, just not enough that it doesn't faze me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you are trying to treat this thing as if it were a whale or some giant animal, and you're trying to distance yourself from the horrible aspect that greets you. There's nothing else in there that seems valuable at all. The beard, it's still hard to tell without actually touching it, but the strands of this beard would be as thick as rope, and they look green. They look dark green, as if it were kelp or something like that. You have been exposed to all sorts of mythology. The word Titan sort of comes up like a lesser Titan or something like that, but this is not like Neptune himself. You know that you are not dealing with like some cosmic force of nature that's been laid low. It seems certainly divinely influenced creature. This doesn't represent a change in the cosmic balance. This is just probably the most massive anthropomorphic fighter you've ever seen, and he's laid low, apparently scared to death.
So, are there any legends of things that might be beneficial from finding something like this, or is it mostly just, hey, he's wearing a lot of gold and valuable stuff, let's take it?
How about everybody give me a Ken roll? And if you don't have Ken, just intellect.
Success. 1.
All right, so anybody else? Ken success?
No.
Oh, yes,
I got my bail.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Huh. All right, so Sully, get to work thinking on how that would apply. I'm guessing maybe that you have you have the opposite opinion of what everyone else thinks here. There's nothing in popular mythology that tells you what to do when you find essentially a creature of heaven dead, because it never happens. So it's very unsettling to see that. There are stories about burial rites, proper consignment of the body to the afterlife, things like that you think might be appropriate to do something to consecrate the body, even though it's so unwieldy. The gem in the necklace is considered potent. It may be magical, or it may be a badge of this holy office. It doesn't necessarily tell you if it would be good or bad to take it, or if it'd be good or bad to do anything with it, but it is potentially potent.
Now, I have read and heard a tale of these titans before, and one thing I know for certain is that there's no consequences for robbing their corpses. And another thing is that really you don't have to worry about doing anything to the body. You can just let nature do its work. And it doesn't really matter at all.
Right. So,
Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's just, we can take what we want. Who cares?
right, have your way with it. Vok is very, very convinced he's right about that. Everyone else with the success, you know the other stuff that I said. Maybe the gym has something to do. Maybe burial rites would be appropriate, even though it's a burial at sea, and even though you can't. It's unlikely that you have any way to sink this body.
Yeah, if it's carrying thousands of pounds of precious metals and it's still floating,
Right.
I think we're kind of just out of luck on that.
Yeah.
No, we could. The same as a ship, we could put a hole in its hull and have it slowly fill.
Or we could burn it.
We could burn it.
Those are both
Yeah, I don't know.
very reasonable ideas.
I think we should probably I don't know. Do we want this gem? Do we still want this gem? I mean, I have a crowbar here in my pack.
We want the gem, and I can perform as a deacon a sort of a last rites for this creature. I can pray to Ra to cook it quickly.
Okay,
All right.
So let's plan on doing that last when I'm not standing on it. I would like to get back down off of the helmet and just make sure this beard is actually like seaweed and stuff, or if it's just coated in moss and algae and that sort of thing.
Okay. You can do that safely. You don't need any other rolls. You're still very well attached with the grappling hook.
Okay.
The beard seems to you to be a material that you're not familiar with. So it's not like hair. It's not like rope. It may be something like kelp. It looks like kelp, and it's covered. There is actual kelp in it. There is actual algae on it, but the beard itself is very strong material that seems more like vegetable material than animal material.
I would like to cut some of this off. Could I
Okay.
put some in my bag just for review later?
Yeah. Do you have anything sharp on you?
I currently have. I mean, I have some spears. Could I just use?
Yeah,
I mean,
you could use a spearhead. You could use a spearhead to cut it. All right. That's unwieldy, and it takes you a while, but again, you're firmly anchored. You don't have too much trouble. It is least as hard to cut these beard hairs as it is to cut a well-made rope, but they do cut.
Okay. Now I would like to go down. I guess since I was planning to cut a necklace chain, I could have brought some sort of implement to do that, despite it not being on my sheet, because I don't expect a spear to be able to cut through gold wire.
Well, solid gold is actually pretty soft, so I think you could sort of gouge your way through it, but
Okay.
it would probably make more sense to call for a hatchet or something from the boat. And I'm sure they could huck you one over, and I'm sure no one would roll badly and hit you in the face with it.
Yeah, maybe they should just throw it onto the body and I can go fetch it.
Okay. Somebody throw him. Who's got a target? If anybody with a target, maybe throw him a.
I have target.
All right, throw him a hatchet.
And don't hit me in the face with it.
I want to throw it nearby, but not close.
Okay. Give me a
Wait,
target
what?
roll.
Nearby, but not close. What?
Right, nearby, like 5 steps away, but not close, not 1 step away.
Oh, okay.
Target is alacrity and intelligence. I got 2 successes.
Awesome. All right. It flies through the air and lands near the navel, and because you got an extra success, it doesn't further desecrate the body by sticking into it like
Message for you.
did yeah, exactly. So it's easily retrieved. You can use this to cut the wire. You could also use it to attempt to retrieve the gem. The necklace is held together with a wire, 2 wires between each disc. The gem is right in the center and sitting right on his collarbone. That disc is huge. Everything involved is slimy. You're going to need to keep your rope around you the whole time that you work, or you risk sliding off.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the guys. Do you guys want the gem first or the wire? Because I'm worried that we're gonna choose one and maybe not be able to get the other.
The gem is the most important, I think.
Yeah, that really makes me not want to listen to you.
The gem seems doable.
Well, it's foretold to be imbued with potent magical power.
So of zero use to me. Okay.
Oh, I don't know about that, but
It would sell for more.
probably.
Oh, so you're just in this for the money.
No, but it's just an alternative option.
Here's the thing, everyone. The gem, unlike the gold discs that you would get, is probably easier to deal with. Now, the gold discs we can melt down. I will pray to Ra.
Well, the thing about the gem is that you probably need to sell it on, like, the black market.
Why can't you chop it up?
Well, it's magical, and destroying it might release that energy or change the nature of that energy.
Wait.
And-
Wait. When did we determine it was magical?
He just made that shit up.
It's definitely magical.
Wait. What, huh? Okay, then get the gem then.
There's nothing in the mythology of this that makes you think the gem has to be mundane. It certainly could be magical.
I thought you said it was magical.
Yeah. There's reason to believe in the stories that you've heard that this is a magical
Okay.
gem.
Get the gem then.
It's basically a giant opal. If you guys know what opals look like.
Yes, they are opal.
Yeah, they're really cool looking. They are also sort of delicate. They're not
Alright.
fragile.
Okay.
This one is not fragile, but it's delicate enough that you get the feeling that you would want to like take a hammer to this thing and try to smash the gem itself out. You would want to work
Right.
on the setting.
So in that case, I do have a crowbar on me. I would like to gently pry at the setting up. And while I'm doing this, I'm really nervous of something happening. So I'm gonna be keeping my eye out for, like, I don't know, glittery sparkles that might shock me, or
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to gently pry on these
Okay.
settings.
Yes.
And I want to keep, I don't want to like pop the gem out and it roll off into the ocean kind of situation.
No, of course,
I'm
it's huge.
taking my
How could it roll
time.
off in the ocean?
Gently prying.
Okay. So what you're going to need to do, Ellison, is get there are a dozen settings. There are a dozen little golden claws that are holding this opal in place.
Mhm.
Each match you score is going to free one of these. You're going to need to get at least 6 of them free before you can get the opal free.
Oh god, it's a time thing.
Yeah, it's not a time thing necessarily. What it is that you make an Eskimo roll. So this is verve modified by alacrity. Or actually, if you don't want to do that, it can just be an alacrity roll. If you don't have Eskimo.
I don't, but I failed the alacrity. I only got 1 verve.
You got a verve success. Okay. All right. So why don't you just start making these rolls, and this is going to represent the time it takes you to do it, and let us know as you progress how when you get to 6 successes. I'm going to just say 6 successes in verve or alacrity.
Verve
And
Or
then
a bail. Let us know if you get the bail.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you get the bail, if you get the luck, then that's 2 matches right away. If you get the
But if I
bail,
get the
then we've
bail,
got
it's
trouble.
going in the water. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Griffith and Vok,
Mhm.
he will be able to get this free, and it's probably not going. He'll almost certainly eventually succeed, and it's probably not going to go sliding off into the water. But it may be too big for him to, muscle around on his own. He's going to need some kind of
Oh.
help. So you guys, maybe you should think about how you're going to help.
Do we still have the lifeboat that did they bring up the lifeboat when we got up against the ship originally?
I think they did, yes. So I think you
Okay.
do have the lifeboat.
Yeah, so I will grab and I will get him to come over and start lowering the lifeboat. So maybe he can just dump it in the lifeboat.
That's a good idea. Okay. And are you lowering the lifeboat empty, or is anyone riding down it?
That maybe we'll put McEllison or somebody in that.
McPherson?
I don't think we want to make the kids do this. They seem really frightened,
Oh, okay.
and their nerves are unsteady.
I mean, I could do it. I just don't. I mean, I could do it. I could go down in it.
Okay.
I mean, I was up above it, but now I'm down in it.
Now you're down in it. McPherson and Carson are trying to avoid it. Yeah. Larson has got his wig on a little tighter. He might be able to help if you want.
It's fine.
He offers.
Nah, it's fine.
He offers you could
No.
number 2.
No.
No. You could take
Nope.
number 2 with you if you want.
Nope.
Number 2 is a
No,
clay
no,
golem.
it's fine.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
So
number 2. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah, take a clay golem. I didn't think about that. I thought they had to stay on the ship.
No, he can if he's. They seem to respond to the orders of the kids. So if he's in
Okay, cool.
in earshot, then probably so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that works. So then number 1 can lower number 2 and me down to the floating body.
Okay.
That sounds
All right.
good. All right.
All right. Cool.
okay, so I rolled once and got absolutely nothing. I rolled a second time and I got a verve, thew, and alacrity.
Oh, okay. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and count all 3 of those. I think that's fine. I could see through like you essentially just brute forcing, and the gold is going to be easier to bend than the opal. So, yeah.
This little shit's gonna let go.
That gives Griffith and number 2 time enough to get down there. They're not on the body with you. They are in the boat near
Yeah,
you.
I don't expect anybody else to get on the body.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're essentially at the hip of the body, and you're at the collarbone.
Okay, so another roll, and I got one more thew. Oh, I had a matching luck. It isn't something I have.
All right.
Let's see.
Griffith, number 2, you guys are just sitting tight.
I mean, I think that we probably need to get over there to help him carry it back. So, I think we have to get up on the body.
Okay.
I mean, number 2 can stay in the boat. I don't know how dexterous he would be.
Yeah. Well, it's actually up to you and Larson. Let me see if Larson's actually going to override this.
If I see them coming toward the body, I'm going to just holler up there that they need to make sure they tie themselves off so they don't fall in the water and end up dead.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I mean,
It'll be fine.
your call. It's fine. It's fine. All right, another roll of nothing.
Another roll of nothing.
A roll of verve and alacrity.
Okay. All right. So
Is
you're one setting. You're one setting left. Griffith, give me a jaunt roll. So that's
Don't know what that is.
It's alacrity, and if you've got jaunt, you can also add thew to it.
I do not.
So any alacrity success.
I got nothing.
Got nothing. Okay. You're having trouble. The boat is bouncing against the hip of this thing as the water. This is a much smaller boat. It's not a ship, so it's being thrown up and down somewhat between the ship and the carcass. So
It's like we're dancing.
yeah, as long as you didn't get your bail, you didn't fail that time. But things are more difficult than you thought. You're perfectly fine for you to continue trying this. If you don't tie yourself off or something, you don't take any other attempt to help, you're going to be doing it with a 1 match penalty.
No, it's fine because I got my bail and my lodestar. So the next time it's going to be better.
All right. Okay, so Ellison, I guess you're going to try one more time. Try
I
to
am.
remove that last. Okay. How many successes?
That's brave of you to assume I succeeded at all.
I used the plural.
I did. I got an alacrity and a thew.
Okay. So with the alacrity, the setting comes loose. With the thew, you get it well under control. You're able to slide it out of the setting somewhat, and you realize that even though this thing itself is also about the size of a large shield, it's about the weight of a large shield made of stone. So you really are going to want some help. You've got 6 of the 12 settings still in place. It's in no real risk of falling out unless somebody has, something terrible happens. But you're going to be at a disadvantage if you try to haul this thing out yourself.
Okay.
Griffith, you want to try again?
Sure.
And are you just going to try again with no?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, should I go over and like assist? Like take my hand and gently set him down on the.
So, yeah, it's up to you. I think you would have to, if you're going to go all the way over there. He's near the hip. You would have to leave the.
Well, let's talk about this.
Well, I mean, you can try
I did
one more
not get a
time.
success, but I got my bail.
Okay. Okay. So no successes and bail, and you were
No
at a one
success
match.
at all.
Okay. There's no way. There's no way around it.
You're going
All
in
right.
the water, bro.
Honestly, you time it perfectly. You make a perfect leap off of the gunnel of the boat onto the hip bone of the giant, which just happens to be covered in very slick algae, and then you go toes first, sliding down right into the water.
Schloop.
It's good that you tied off before you went in.
Good thing.
I didn't tie off.
This is
Wait.
great.
I yelled at you to both tie off before you try getting in the water.
All right, this is awesome. Okay, so you're in the water. Larson is screaming to number 2, pull him out, pull him out. Fortunately, you don't go sinking right down in the water. Instead, your feet land on something sort of rubbery, although, it feels almost a little prickly that prevents you from sinking all the way down right away.
Oh, perfect.
It's not very stable, though. It's moving around like a fish, like a giant fish almost, underneath your feet. Okay.
Whatever could it be?
I believe I've stepped upon a kitty cat.